Welcome back to Bond with Friends. And today we have Andre White. He's running for sheriff 2026. Hey Andre, how you feeling today?
Good, good.
Nice to
Nice to
meet
be
you.
here. Yeah.
So we're gonna start off. What was it like growing up in Compton and how did it shape who you are today?
Man, I loved growing up here. You know, I grew up on the west side. My park, if you know, Compton was Gonzalez Park.
Hmm.
Um, and me and my friends in our block, man, we would have the time of our life as young adults. Going back and forth to the park and just doing all kind of stuff you don't see nowadays, which is, you kind of look back like, man, I remember we used to hop the fence, jump, go over there, go to the park, play some baseball, basketball, swimming. Um, so that stuff is will forever be embedded in me. Um, and then just going to school, walking to school and just with your crew. But those are the good times. But it's unfortunate that the city that we grew up in is it's a city that's famous for is violence and is gang violence. So I've lost a lot of friends.
Hmm.
The gang violence, lost or even in jail. That done some serious time. So, but I think living here, um, it shapes you to be. You can if you can live here and make it here, you can literally do anything, in my opinion.
Totally
Like there's
agree.
no stopping what you can do. And I love being from this city because it's really shaped me and it's really made me who I am today and how good I am at it. I always tell people, for my profession in particularly, the best police are from, like, the best cops are the ones that's from, like, quote unquote the hood to me,
Hmm.
because we see both sides and we know how to maneuver and deal with both of the issues because we've at one point in your life had to go through um, either um, being confronted from a gang or
Hmm.
confronted from law enforcement, right? So it's like you see you see both two sides of both of the stories. So, but I think being from here, man, I always say we got gold in this city, and we create some very very good people. So yeah.
Totally agree. So you attended Carson High. What lessons and memories you took from those years that still stick with you?
So I attended Carson High all 4 years, graduated there. Um, I really think just being like just being amongst everyone from all different areas. Our
Hmm.
our Carson is pretty unique, man. We used to have a lot of people that come to that school and was from all different areas, like Compton, LA, um, and everybody for some reason wanted to choose to come there. But you get to meet a lot of people, different people, and shoot. In fact, I'm still have a group chat going to this day with my Carson, a few of my Carson friends. So, and to see us all progress from what we were back then and who we are now, like, it's amazing.
I had a daughter who went to Carson High. You might know her. Y'all around the same age.
Yeah,
Her name is Ariana Monk.
I know that last name for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just thought I'd add
Dang,
that.
that's crazy. Yeah, yeah. What year she graduated? Do you remember?
She graduated in 2011.
Okay. So I was '09, so just a few years. Yeah, she probably was coming in as I was leaving.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what inspired you to join the Los Angeles Sheriff Department?
Um, it's not the typical story. I never wanted to do this.
Hmm.
Never in a million years would have thought I'd be a police officer. Never in a million years would have thought I'd be running to be the head sheriff of Los Angeles County. But I always say, it's not your plan, it's God's. So I'm here, and I finally got out of the way and let him do his thing.
Hmm.
But my story is very interesting. I think about 2011. I was at Lakewood Regional Hospital. I was an EMT then.
Mm-hmm.
We were waiting at the hospital. We were waiting in line to be seen. It was a very busy day. I think we were waiting for like 3 hours with a patient just to be, drop the patient off. And there was a bunch of us in there. And a sheriff came in with an inmate as well that I guess needed to be treated
Mm-hmm.
at the time. And she was a Lakewood sheriff. And we were sitting there just having a conversation. And it led to her telling me about the job. Um, and I told her what I was looking to do. And she said, you should go ahead and apply. And I was like, I didn't know anything about law enforcement, no clue about what I was applying, but she literally recruited me without her, I guess, even doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I went outside, grabbed my iPad, and applied.
Oh, nice.
And 12 years later, here I am.
Running for head sheriff.
Running for head sheriff. And I don't even know this lady. I don't even know if she's still in the department. I wouldn't recognize her if she was standing in front of me. But she is the reason why I'm on this department. So if I would love to know who she is and where she is, but she's literally the person who got me. I only applied to one agency and one agency only, and she got me to do it.
Oh man, well we thank her for leading you to this point.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So looking back, what do you remember most about your first days working in the prison system?
Oh man, I hated that place. So that's a good segue question because I didn't know anything about what I was signing up for.
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue I was about to go to the county jail until they said, you about to go to the county jail.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, you signing up, you want to be a police officer. I'm like, okay, I'm about to be in the neighborhood. I'm just be in the streets,
Mm-hmm.
So I had no clue that I had to go do my time in the county jail first. And I was, you want to talk about pissed off? I was pissed off I had to go in there because that's not what I expected. I worked at Twin Towers. Oh man, I was itching to get out. Just put it like that, itching to get out. I have not been back since. I don't do no overtime there. I've been offered overtime. I'm cool. It's just not for me. It's for some people though,
Mm-hmm.
that just wasn't what I wanted to do. So it was challenging, man. I think for me, when you're in there 8 hours and up to 16 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
you start to feel like you're incarcerated yourself.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, there's no cell phone, there's no nothing, and you just in there.
Mm.
So but I will say I made the best of it like I do with anything. Met some good people in there, some good friends, still have good friends in there still to this day that we're still in contact with. And I think it also helped me prepare what I was, coming out to do. So like actually being in neighborhoods and actually patrolling, which going back to your first question, Compton had already prepared me for that,
Mm-hmm.
being from this city. So I think it just, those stepping stones to make you, okay, you come from this city, now you in the jail system where it's a whole lot of I seen so many people I went to school with in there, and it's just like, damn, man, what's up? They calling my name, and I'm like, hey, hold on, yeah. And but I think that was just God was just like, no, I want you to see every part of it, so you can understand it, which I think is very important, to see somebody. And Twin Towers is primarily back then. Well, actually, back then it wasn't so much, but it started to change as like right when I left, you started to get a lot of the mental health issues with the inmates in there, and like the suicidal inmates and stuff. So now it's fully like a mental health facility, majority of it. But yeah, to see that, because I only saw it from the EMT side, but now to see it like someone incarcerated going through it and locked in a box that you can literally touch like both walls. There's no, I don't know, man. It's to see that up close is like, damn,
Man.
Yeah, it takes a toll on you.
So how did working inside the jail system change your understanding of people and the streets?
I don't think that really did anything for me. And it goes back to because I'm from a challenging city where you see a lot. So that already built me to understand. Like to put it clearly to you, there's deputies that graduate, they go into the jails and they have a very hard time. And it goes back to, okay, how were they raised or where they come from?
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to tell some of my partners in there all the time, like, man, better be careful how you talk to these grown men in here because they're still grown men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, forget this uniform that you have on. You have to respect that grown man. And I think that's where people that sign up for this job have confusion about this uniform. They put it on and they feel like they're unstoppable or something or can't be touched.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to tell people, man, you better be careful with how approach that, man. I don't know. And I think that's our culture where we come from. We're all about respect, right?
Absolutely.
Like you have to respect everyone on all different levels. Like you have to respect the older neighbor down the street, and that older neighbor down the street can put you in check as a kid
Mm-hmm.
because it's an understanding. It don't have to just only be your mom. And it's the same way in a gang. It's the same way in the neighborhood, in the streets. Like you can't just be out here talking crazy to anybody. At the end of the day, we all are grown men and women here, and you got to own up to what you're talking. So I had no issues in there, man. I used to be like they used to love when I come when I'm on shift,
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't mean they're getting away with anything, but it just means like, okay, White gonna tell us how it is or how or what it's gonna be or how the program be. Like, we can easily approach him and be like, hey, and if I can't do it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was always an understanding. And I've seen people get, like I said, I've seen some partners that got knocked out, um, feces and urine and piss is called gassing thrown at them. I never had to experience none of that. And I really think it's because how you approach people and how I didn't treat them no different just because they were in the situation that they were in.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
respect went a
It
long
was
way.
respect went a long way. I remember I would always doing my walks, man, and you sitting there, they playing dominoes or cards. I put my foot up on the table and be like, let me see what you got, and I'll be like, I'll mess with them,
Yeah, yeah.
He got this right here,
Yeah.
They're like, oh, come on, man, you done messed up the whole game, like I bring the human side to just because I'm in this uniform don't mean I can't be who I am, and that's how I've been my entire career. Yeah, and it just transferred over to the streets, and I think that's why I thrived even better out here because I'm like, okay, I'm free and I can really, you know, be myself instead of being locked up in there with them. But yeah, that's how I always. It's respect first, man.
So, what lessons from correction work still help you today as a detective?
Knowing how to talk to people. So detective. So I was in there for I was in the jail system for a good like 8 months. I was one of the lucky ones. I got out of there quick. And actually, the reason why I was only in there for less than a year is because I had tore my knee in there, and I had to have surgery, so I was gone for a year. So that ate up most of my custody time. By the time I came back, I was the first thing smoking out to to the streets. I went to Carson Sheriff Station. Um, but knowing how, and so that's a great question because I'm a gang detective and I only work with gangs.
Mm-hmm.
So not only has Compton built me for this position, but yeah, corrections did too because it's about communication. Everything, this job is literally communication. I would tell the people that I would train when I was in the streets, it's about your mouthpiece, nothing else. You can literally make anyone do whatever you need and get them to do anything for you. It's about how you approach it with your mouth. I used to tell my trainees all the time, you should never, ever have to be starting at a 10 with anyone. Because if you're starting at a 10, then where are you going to go
Yeah.
from there, right? So I'd always tell them, you should be down here. Find a comfortable space down here. And every now and then you may have to bump it up, but you should have a number that you should never go past, because then that means you lost control of the whole situation.
Yeah.
So that's what's made me literally a great detective now, man, because I know how to conversate with someone. Yeah.
So what was the transition like moving from the prison system to patrolling in Carson?
It wasn't that bad for me because I was an EMT for 5 years and I was already out here in the community, all over LA County. I worked in so many cities: Lakewood, Pico Rivera, Whittier, Bellflower, responding to all kind of stuff. It's just that we were on the medical side and not the police side. So that helped me a whole lot, because I'm like, okay, I've been in the streets for a very long time. I didn't worry about that. I knew where I was going. I know where I'm at. I know how to get from point A to point B. So none of that was worrying me. You want to know what my biggest worry was? Writing.
The way you write the reports?
Writing, yes, because I am not a writer. I'm a math guy. I'm a numbers guy. So my biggest thing was like, man, always you hear these stories about these reports. This is the thing that people don't understand. We do a lot of writing. I'm like a high-paid secretary.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. I'm talking pages of writing that I still do to this day. So that was my biggest fear. Is like, man, I hate writing. I hate writing. I hate writing. I hate writing. How am I going to be successful with this? Because I wasn't worried about nothing else. I literally was worried about writing. And luckily, I had two great mentors that taught me, and they taught me their writing style. And it's like, damn, I'm not afraid to write anything now. I just wrote a 56-page search warrant not too long ago. You know, so the stuff that I was worried about became one of the most easiest things that I do now. But for people that don't realize that want to join this job, you do a lot of writing. Yeah. It gets to the point where you're like, Jesus Christ, you know. But hopefully, when I'm sheriff, there is some things that we can do better, and to adapt to today's time, to make stuff a lot easier than what I had to go through. Back when I was on training, we had to write, not type. Well, I was writing with pencils these reports. So yeah. So now the people that are coming out, man, they have all kind of tools, AI and Chat GPT, and they can write up some stuff in 2.5 seconds, right? So nah, man, I love the fact that I had to go through that. The fact that I was literally writing with a pencil, majority everything, pages. You know, I think it builds character, and it actually allows you to like, yeah, I did this handwritten. So kind of,
you gotta have a great memory to write those reports on.
100%. And it's funny you say that, because I would never take notes. I never took notes. None of my reports. Never took notes. It was always right here, man. So I guess that helped too. And I'm talking many reports out today, people telling you all kind of stuff. For the most things that I would write down was their information and probably some quotes that I wanted to make sure, boom. But you can literally tell me the story from point A to point B, and then you wouldn't start writing until many hours later, and I would still have it right there. But that's just me. Like, I have a gift to even just remembering numbers and stuff. I don't know. That's just what my gift is. But some people do have copious notes, and then they got to go through and look and do this. But now, like I said, times has changed. Everything's on body cam. I was just talking about this to someone the other day. I'm like, man, I said, you guys have the opportunity to now review the whole entire thing on video while you're sitting there typing. I'm like, we didn't have that, man. We had to write the stuff down or keep it in your head. So times has changed, for the better, which is good.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. We're back with Bone with Friends, and we have Andre White. He's running for sheriff 2026. So during your time on patrol, what situations taught you the most about leadership and communication?
Training. When you are training someone, it's a different ball game. And I didn't realize that until I became a training officer. And I'm going to tell you, I had two amazing trainers. I'm telling you, God's plan, man. Listen, it's the way He does things is just amazing. My two training officers were from Carson.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Carson High, graduated Carson High, and here I am, a Carson High alumni. And they were both really good at what they do, understood the community, never had any issues with communicating with people, and like took command in anything that needed to be done in the most calm way. So to learn from those two, that's why I'm so great at what I do now, is literally because of those two. And when I became a training officer, one of my training officers said, you can't call yourself a training officer until you take someone that has no knowledge, that may be underperforming, close to not making it, until you bring them up to par. Like, that's when you can call yourself a training officer. He's like, yeah, it's real easy when you have somebody that know what they're doing, that come out prepared, that comes out ready to go, understands radio codes, how to write, where they going, how to speak on the radio, knows their policies, knows their laws. He was like, yeah, that's all good and great when they come out prepared. But when you have that one that didn't really prepare themselves when they were in the county and they just came out, and you got to start literally from scratch, that's when you can call yourself a good training officer. So that right there, the second part to that is you have this person's life in your hands. And I think that really opened up my eyes when I had that person in that seat next to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm responsible for them. I got to make sure they get home. I got to make sure they don't come in this shift hurt or in a hospital or anything. My responsibility. And from there, when they do pass, that's still, we call them our kids. Those are still my kids. They still check in. They still may call me right now to this day for questions or what do you think, for guidance. And also, one of my trainees, got into a bad accident, and you look at that and you're like, damn, what could you start to self-critique yourself about, I could have probably did a better job driving or teaching her how to, him or her how to maneuver, etc. So they'll always be tied to you. You're always gonna worry about them and making sure they, to me, if something happens where I get a call where they've either been hurt on the job, or did something wild, you do have that moment where you're like, damn, that's a part of me, so a lot of people, that's one of the most important positions on this department, that a lot of people that have done it will actually admit that's one of the most important positions on this department, is a training officer. And you won't understand that until you actually are one, because you are responsible for that person the rest of your career. It's like whatever they do from here on out, they are attached to your name. So I think that right there that's been the eye opener for me, and probably one of my most important positions that I've ever been in. And I always would tell them, like I mentioned earlier, I would tell all of them, you make the badge, don't let it make you. You should be all right from there. Take all the stuff that you've learned, safety and all the tactics and whatnot, but just remember, stay true to yourself and remember your values. I would say you most likely be successful. Yeah.
I never looked at it like that. That's a big responsibility. That's a big burden to carry.
Huge, man. I've had some instances where, we've had some things go on, and it's like you don't realize, like, I got to go home to my family, but I am in charge of making sure this person go home.
Hmm.
Because that's the last thing you want on you is, because it's happened. You don't want your trainee to be hurt or leave this earth during your watch. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So you played basketball for LASD at Gonzalez Park. How much did sports influence your discipline and your teamwork?
So we played not at Gonzalez, but we played at Stevenson Park. And then I was a part of a league earlier in my custody days. We would play at our Star Center in Whittier.
Mm-hmm.
But sports, if you play sports, it's funny. You said one of my training officers is a coach, high school football coach.
Hmm.
He would do that, literally leave work, right to coaching. And those leadership values and traits literally go hand in hand. And I think that's what makes him that great leader that he is because of that coaching, and because he's played sports as well. So I think all of that plays a part, man, and it only will help you. So for sure, that teaches you how to work as a team, teaches you how to communicate, right? Because when you're on defense, if there's no communication, the whole thing falls apart. Mm-hmm. And it also teaches you how to be that leader, because you have to have some kind of leadership role on a team, even if you're not the coach. So that definitely, sports for sure plays a huge part in, huge part of how my leadership style is now.
So how did your upbringing in Compton help you connect with the community while policing?
Because Compton is very community oriented. I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I went to school with so many different people from so many different neighborhoods, right? I'm talking, gang neighborhoods as well. Mm-hmm. But when we all came to school, no matter if you were from a gang or not, we were all together. Mm-hmm. We all played ball together, or we all, back then, playing marbles together, or, on our go-karts together, or on our mini bikes together, riding through the neighborhood. Like, it didn't matter if you were a Blood or a Crip, right? And then it goes back to also the people in your neighborhood, older generation, the neighbors that can put you in check, even if they're not your parent, right? And that's that community oriented kind of style that we have here in particular. And I think that just really helped. It just literally transferred over to what I do now. When I was in patrol, you would always find me rolling through the neighborhoods, not on the main streets. Mm-hmm. I used to like to go in the neighborhood. I literally would pull over, and if you see a group of kids shooting hoops in the street, I'm literally stopping. I'm getting out. I'm like, give me the rock, give me a shot. Yeah. That was me.
Nice.
That was me all the way. In fact, I have a video I think it's on my website still. I know we had it up. Quick little story. I'm doing my little rounds. Me and my partner at the time, we again, not in the main streets. We in these little back areas. It's a spot off of Wilmington and Delamo area where they like to go in that industrial area, sit and, smoke and do all kind of stuff, right? So we just rolling through there, and we pull over, and I see these two young dudes in a car. They were smoking weed. Young dudes. One of them had on a Compton, I want to say it was a Compton College football jersey on, if I'm not mistaken. So me being who I am, I'm in the car. I'm like, man, how old are you? You know, he was like, oh, I'm 18. I said, how are you 18 with the, I think it was a running back. A running back, he said, and I said, and you up here smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that means you getting dusted on the field all the time, right? So we had this interaction. I said, all right, I'll give you this. I said, if you get out, we're going to run from here to here. You're going to race me. I think I was like 20. I wasn't even 30 yet. I was in my late 20s. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if you beat me, I'm not going to call your mama and tell you what you're here doing.
Yeah.
But I said, if I beat you, then it's going to be bad news for you, right? He's like, oh, let's go, let's go. So my partner pulls out his phone. He starts to record it. And I'm in full uniform, right? We got on probably about 30 pounds worth of stuff on. He's out. He's like, I got you. I got you. They lined up. We lined up. We raced. I end up beating the dude by like probably, you know, by a hair, right? And
yeah.
My partner's like, oh my God, you just got dusted by a 29-year-old, so whatever how old I was, in full uniform. He said, man, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to give it up. You need to give it up, right? But that's the kind of interactions that I would do personally. Not everyone does that, but that's the kind of stuff that I would do. And I think that really just like brings us together and knocks down that barrier of it's them against us.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, I let him go. I'm like, man, listen, you need to stop smoking weed, because if you just let me beat you, then we got a problem. You're going to have a problem on the field, right?
Yeah.
Man, I was sore for like 2 days just from that small little hamstrings, right? It was sore. My partner in the video was posted on our on the sheriff Instagram, and you know, everybody's commenting, and it went a little crazy, but that's how it should be, and that's how I always had it. So that's what community policing should look like. And I still do that to the day, because that's just me, man. That's just my personality.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
We're going to go to another commercial break, and we'll be back with some more questions. We're back with Bone with Friends, and I have Andre White. He's running for sheriff for 2026. We have some more questions. What led you to become a gang unit detective in South Central Los Angeles?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I always wanted to join that unit since Colors. Remember Colors? Mm-hmm. Like that's when I'll go back when I joined this department. I watch Colors. I'm like, dang, you know, that's the unit that I would want to be in. So that for sure inspired a little bit of it. But I think what really, on a personal level, why I wanted to join this unit is because I've lost so many friends and even family members to gang violence. And that's just something that I wanted to try to put my stamp on and see what I can do better to reach out to, you know, the young generation. It's very unfortunate that a lot of my cases that I get on my desk are 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds and Black or brown, you know? And I really think that we need a better role model that they can look up to. It's a huge part of reason why I'm running for sheriff too, is that we don't have many role models that look like myself in positions like this. You know, when I was growing up, my role model was an athlete, right? Mm-hmm. Some people's role models are rappers, but you don't look up and see like, oh, someone that's not a family member of yours or a friend that's in a position like the one that I'm running for. You know, we don't look up to sheriffs, or we don't have no one to look up to that's like a chief of a fire department or, you know, a judge, right? Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because we have a very Um, a judge, a supervisor first. I think he's the first black supervising judge right here in Compton.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. Um, he runs that whole entire courthouse, and he's from Compton. So that's what kids need to look at. But we have right now we're in a era where these young kids, um, we're in this social media era that's really taken effect on the younger generation. So I think it's very important that we have somebody that can relate to them. And that's really why I'm doing what I'm doing. I mean, I think the youngest sheriff was like 26 years old, but that was like in the late 1800s. We ain't gonna count his time. I'm sorry, man. Ain't nobody here to count to discredit that, but nobody's
Yeah.
still here alive. But I would be the youngest sheriff in a very long time, since the 1800s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then I would be the first black sheriff in history, and that department's been around for 175 years. So I think it's time that we have someone that they can look up to and someone that they can relate to. I know I'll be 35 in a couple of weeks, but I still look young to them. So I think that they would look at me and go, "Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, he's from Compton and he can do this and he like the same stuff that I like, listen to the same kind of music, and oh damn, I guess we can do this or do something else, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So that's really, man, if we can get over that hump, and I'm doing everything I can in my position. It's the same way, man. I unfortunately can't take no one out of that situation, whatever situation they're in, but I can just sit there and try to give them some advice because still early in their life. And I just hope that when they do sit in front of me and hear my interviews and when I actually talk to them on another level, I do hope that sometimes they take a little bit, a piece of like moving forward. Damn, I remember sitting in front of Detective White. He was one cool dude. He kind of was trying to tell me, how to do certain things or whatever. And I hope that changes. That's all we can do, right, in life is just hope that somebody takes your advice. Yeah.
Trendsetter.
Yeah.
It's like I remember reading a book. It was talking about when the first human ran the 4-minute mile. After that, numerous of people did it afterwards.
Yeah.
We just needed to see
We
it
just
could be
need
done.
somebody. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I will be, I'm there for us. I'll do it, so that way I can pave the way for somebody. That's what it's really about, passing that baton.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that whatever I do in life, I can encourage somebody to do it, or I can give them the advice, that I never got. Because like I said earlier, I didn't know I was doing this. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have nobody to tell me this is how you should do it. I literally went through this position blind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And was just blessed with department people that I've been around to get that knowledge from. Yeah.
Nice. So, what are the biggest challenges facing young people in South Central today?
Man, not having a mentor, not having somebody that they can go to outside of, the homies or the family members or whatever. You got to have somebody else, a different view. And I think that's what they are missing really, really bad.
I would agree.
Yeah.
How important is community trust in solving crimes and preventing violence?
100%. The most we don't listen. We solve, we do, we're good at what we do. And sometimes I can do it without anyone, but we need the community. It's the only way this job works. But we have to be able to trust one another too. And we don't have that. We haven't had that in a long time. But but the community is very vital to the success of its own community. Majority of the people that they're just visitors. They don't have no real stake in what really goes on. There's a few that you come across, like myself, that was raised in the area and stuff, so you take it differently, but majority, they're not from here. So their outcomes on things is going to be very different, or the way they approach things is going to be very different from someone that is from the community. But the problem is that the community doesn't quite trust us. And I think because they don't see enough of us that's from the same place that they're from.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wish we can fix it. We definitely can fix it. You just have to have somebody that wants to fix it,
Mm-hmm.
and that cares to fix it.
Yeah.
And that's one of my biggest things is regarding my campaign is we got to get the community back involved. It's no more us against them. We got to figure out a way to work together.
Yeah.
I talk about it all the time. The leader of this department should be able to go sit down with anybody, no matter where you're from, your economic status, none of that. He should be able to go sit down with people in Malibu like he does and have conversations, and he should be able to come sit down with people in Compton, South Central, and have those same conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen? No.
Yeah.
So I plan to lead a very different way. I think what we've gone away from is we make this stuff run. The people, boots on the ground, make this stuff run.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get back to that. You can't lead from your office. You can't lead from a TV screen. You got to be right here in the mix with everything. You got to be able to sit down with your faith leaders. You got to be able to sit down with your neighborhood block club leaders. You got to be able to sit down with the gang leaders, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should be at a table together. If there's any issue, we should all be at the table together and trying to figure out how to address the issue.
I see your genuine concern is real important, and that's what we need.
Yeah, man, if one thing that anybody, you could say a whole lot about me, but what you can't say is that I don't have a genuine concern, because I do. I'm from the heart all the time. Yeah.
Lovely. So you're married and you have a 2-year-old daughter. How has fatherhood changed your outlook on life and leadership?
Oh man. Whew, my baby, my 2-year-old. It's given me a whole different outlook. Especially, I didn't grow up with my dad. So I couldn't imagine not coming home to my daughter, for her sake and for mine. She has definitely changed me in all kind of ways. She done softened me up. She done made me tougher. She done made me more, I think now, like, oh no, I have to make sure I'm okay. I have to make sure I come home, because if she don't have me, oh man, I don't know. The way that she embraces me when I come home, I could be gone for 10 minutes or 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
She lets it be known, like, daddy is home. So that has changed my outlook on everything. And then of course my wife, I wouldn't have her without her, and the support that she gives. That's one thing that let me say this. That's one thing a lot of people don't understand is this job is already hard. It's very, very hard. My wife has been with me since patrol training days. And I can tell you, a lot of people during patrol training days can go through divorces, can go through all kind of stuff. This is very hard. It's long days, long nights, may not see each other like you want to. So to have someone that supports you, since day one understands and is going to rock with you with this position, they're the most important piece to that whole entire puzzle. Because still to this day, she's sacrificing. She's sacrificing this campaign. I didn't know I was doing this. She definitely didn't expect this, but it has been, it's not easy for both of us, of course, and raising a child while campaigning, and I'm still working. So it's been a mission, but she has been full force on it. She sent her nieces behind the cam right now to make sure I'm here because she's working, right, to get these shots. Like, that's what it's about. It's about support. It's about family support. If you don't have that, it makes the job 10 times harder, man. For sure it does. Yeah.
Totally agree. So what advice would you give young people growing up in tough environments that want a different path?
Man, stay true to yourself. Don't ever let nobody say you can't do it. If you want to do something, you go do it. And be resilient because it's already built in us. We already have resilient because of where we come from. We already have that character built. It's there. You just got to find a way to maneuver through all the obstacles because it's going to come with obstacles. It's not going to be easy. If I told you it was easy, I'd be lying to you. And in fact, if you coming from where we come from, you don't even want it easy, because when you finally get there, it just makes it that much better. Be like, man, I went through X, Y, and Z, and look at me now. So to the young men and women, man, whatever goals you have in life, and you may not have the goals that you, like I said, this wasn't my goal, but I'm here, stay true to yourself, keep God first, prayer, and I guarantee you can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
You gotta respect the journey, or the success wouldn't be as sweet.
Trust the process, right? That's what they say down there in Philly. Trust the process. You have to trust the process.
We heard Kobe Bryant is your GOAT.
Yeah.
What about Kobe's mentality inspired you the most?
Ooh, that work ethic he had. I literally have that same work ethic. The days and the times that you just don't feel like doing it, even during my campaign, it's been times where I'm like, man, I'm just beat, But then I literally have to tell myself, like, nah, get up, go hit this event, go pass these flyers out, go shake these hands, because what he say during the press conference? Job's not finished.
Yeah,
right.
That was cold. That was his quote.
Job's not finished. So that's what I took from him, man. You can't. It's not gonna be handed to you. You definitely got to go take it. But you can only blame yourself if you don't give it your all. So, yeah, and there's so many other things that's my guy right there. But I think the work ethic is the most. He was second to none when it came to that.
Man, Black Mamba mentality.
Mamba mentality. Yeah.
What do you think people misunderstand most about gang culture and prevention?
Damn. That is a very good question. I think probably not understanding that sometimes, and I really hate to say this, but sometimes because you may not even want that life, but you probably had no choice. They say what they say, I was raised in it, or this is, and I really hate that, but it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. You only know what you are taught. So if you growing up and your dad and mom was from the hood, and that's the only thing 9 times out of 10, it's probably what you may, be. And I'm telling you, I hate to have that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I think people really don't understand is that that may not be what we actually want.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unfortunate. Um, E40 say everybody got choices, but sometimes we really don't have a choice.
Yeah.
As bad as we want to make it out, sometimes these are the cards that we're dealt.
Remind me of something my dad used to say. He said, if your mom and your dad are sharks, you're going to be a
Be a
shark.
shark. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, I mean, it is few that go a different route, though. So I'm not going to say, it's not impossible. But sometimes, we all not dealt those, that, straight flush, royal flush.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we got a shitty hand that we have to be, we got to roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a painting at the house. It's a guy. He got a drink. He got got a handful of cards.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody asked me, what do that picture mean to you? And it's like, I wasn't dealt the best hand, but I'm going to make it
But I'm
work.
gonna make it work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So after 12 years with LASD, what accomplishments are you most proud of?
Damn, that is a very good question. You got some questions for me, man. What am I most accomplished? Oh man, I really want to. I really think it's the position that I'm in right now, and I think it's really because I really strive to get it. It took a long time. It wasn't easy, and I had to test for this process, and it's crazy because I took a few tests, and I'm not a great test taker. Um, I'm a very great like interviewer. But to get to that interview, you got to pass that test, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the gang detective test was the best that I did on all the tests. I think I took like 5 tests. The very best test that I did. Like very, very good. I ranked very high on the list. And I'm just like, dang, you know? And this is what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably my biggest accomplishment is actually getting something that you want because it's very hard to do that with anything in life. But I love this position. I love this position. I think it's this is just right for me. And I don't get me wrong. I'm running this race because I want to win. Because I really think that I will make a huge difference inside that department and within the community. But make no mistake, if it doesn't happen, I am happy where I'm at. And I think that's what we have a problem with is people like to strive for they want something,
Mm-hmm.
more than just being okay with something or accepting something. Like I love my position. A lot of people tell me, man, you need to promote, you need to promote. I'm kind of like, sometimes you need somebody in certain positions. I would love to climb the ladder and be a sergeant or be, lieutenant, captain, of course, right? But um, I absolutely can see myself retiring from this spot right here. 100%.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what inspired you to run for sheriff in 2026? And why do you feel now is the right time?
Man, you got some questions. Look, what inspired me to do this is after being on this department, you see a whole lot of things from this view, right, that the public don't see. Um, and you're just like, you get tired of it. And I was always raised, my mom said, you shouldn't be no complainer. You should probably stand up and do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know what came, well, I don't know what made me really push for this. I'm really like, I'm walking in literally God's footsteps on this whole entire journey. I don't have not one lick of political experience, but something's got to give. I think it takes someone like we talked about earlier with some heart to actually make a difference and change some things. Because if not, man, we just gonna continue the same old way, same old issues we have. It's still gonna be there because these people that are getting in these positions, they've already done their career. They on their second lap, sometimes third, right? Second pension, sometimes third. They have nothing to lose. So to them, I look at it, in my opinion, as that's just another check on the box for them. But from my view, I have to do this job 20 more years. I'll be 55, 20 more years, technically, right? That's 32 years on that I've had. And I think it's different because I'm still here and I still have to be here. It could have been easy for me to do this when I was retired, right? Because, if I don't win, then I'm going back. I'm retired on my old life and enjoying, my life. No, I'm still be right back on my desk, right? Win, lose, or draw. I'm still here dealing with these same issues, hoping that something's going to change for the best. So, I look at the leaders that we have in this world, like, you just gotta be that person to stand up and do something about it. Martin Luther King did it. Malcolm X did it. Whether you like their ways or not, but we had those leaders that stood up and did something about it. So my life. No, I'm gonna still be right back on my desk, right? Win, lose, or draw. I'm still here dealing with these same issues, hoping that something's gonna change for the best. So, I look at the leaders that we have in this world, like, you just gotta be that person to stand up and do something about it. Martin Luther King did it. Malcolm X did it. Whether you like their ways or not, but we had those leaders that stood up and did something about it. So